Welcome to This Wasn't on the Test, the podcast where knowledge meets humor in the most unexpected ways. Join Dr. Jake and Dr. Kayla, a couple with doctorates in their respective fields, and their sister Kelsey, who may not have a PhD but sure knows how to keep things light with her quick humor and relatable take on the world. Whether you're a scholar or just a curious mind, this trio will make you laugh, think, and you might even learn something new. Tune in to find out why this wasn't on the test. Welcome back to This Wasn't on the Test. I'm Kelsey, and I'm here with my brother and sister-in-law, Dr. Jake Berg and Dr. Kayla Berg. Hey, hey.
Hey.
Hello.
How are you guys?
Listen, so I don't remember, we remember back to last week when I don't know that I was complaining. I was overwhelmed by
Probably. You're always bitching about something. Just kidding.
Kelsey, you dumb fuck. When I was talking about like the whole like mom teacher whatever. So then when did we record? Saturday morning?
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. So then on Saturday we get done recording and I'm laying around and Jake goes, I'm taking Emmy to the park. We'll be back later. And I'm like, you're what? A little while later.
He was listening?
I know. A little while later he's like, we went on an adventure. It's going to be a minute. They ended up going all the way to keep in mind where we live, all the way to Indiana for ice cream.
That seems like a really far, even though you guys live close enough to Indiana.
They went further north to an ice cream place, but that we liked, but that ice cream place ended up being closed, and so they didn't want to go to like Dairy Queen, Baskin Robbins, something or other. And so there's another one just across the border.
Yeah. Emmy always does this when it's me and her together. We're hanging out and she's like, I think we need to get ice cream now. But I like ice cream, so it's not really a big it doesn't take a lot of convincing. But there's not a whole lot of like local ice cream places here. There's just like the chain little shops. And there is a really good local one in a kind of a nearby city. And we're like, well, do we want to go to Baskin Robbins? That's a couple minutes away. Or do we want to drive the 15 minutes to go to this other place that's really good? And so we decided that we would. And I did actually check on Facebook because it's like, it's this local place that's run by like 4 people. So even if their hours say on Google, whatever, they're open, I still go and check just in case. But it said that there was an event that day, but there was nothing on there that actually said that their shop was closed. So I was okay.
Small businesses suck at Facebook.
Well, the thing is, I've looked up this place and seen them post saying that they were going to be closed certain days in the past. So I knew that they actually ran their social media pretty well. And so that's why I was like, it doesn't say that they're closed. So we drove all the way there. And yeah, it was closed. And it says they have it written on their thing like, we're at the event. We're closed until they were going to be back open in their shop later in the day. So then I'm like, well, it's a little tiny town. And so they didn't even they had a Dairy Queen there. That was the only other ice cream option in the entire town. So I'm like, we can go all the way back to home and go back to like Baskin Robbins, or we can go to this other place that's
double down
Indiana.
And go even further.
Jake's like, Mom needs a break.
Mom didn't need a break. And so then later that night, Jake's like, okay, I talked to Emmy into staying home alone. Do you want to go on a quick date? And I'm like,
cute, Jake. Good job.
I know. So we have a new local bookstore that's just opened that's actually run by one of my teacher friends and her husband. It's so cute.
Oh my God, amazing.
They sell like new and used books, and so we went there to check it out and got books and chit-chatted with her for a while. Her name is also Kelsey. She has a bookstore and is also a teacher. And then we went to we have kind of it's like a food court kind of thing.
Type thing. There's not a ton of stuff there, but there's like 3 or 4 little stalls.
There's like 4 little stalls. They've got like a Like a
Oh, yeah,
wall,
that's pretty cool.
A wall of like beer on tap that like self-service.
Yeah, you get like a card,
Cool.
and you scan your card, and when you pull the tap, it measures how much you pour. And then
all of those places in Milwaukee have closed down.
When you're done, this place is really hopping.
This place is getting big. And duck pin bowling they have. And they do all kinds of fun events. We went there and we could like walk there from the bookstore.
Is that close enough where we can go when we're visiting?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
We should do that. That would be so fun.
Yeah, it's a really cool place.
Yeah, for sure. It's super fun. So we did that. And then we picked up Taco Bell for Emmy because that was apparently the payment of staying home alone.
I was like, you stay home. We're going to go do something, but you can have your choice of whatever you want. Fast food will pick up on the way home for you. So.
What did she order from Taco Bell?
A cheesy roll-up, a crunchy taco,
Ooh.
And then we got her as a surprise the 2 of the little Cinnabon Delights.
Yum.
But she really just...
Taco Bell, if you want to sponsor us, we're here for it.
So it was like $6. So I told Kayla, I was like, $6 isn't too bad for...
We were out for like 2 hours.
Babysitter,
like,
essentially.
Yeah.
Wasn't anything big, but it was super cute. But, Jake was listening to our podcast. Took me on a little... He heard the panic in my voice.
Just kidding. What is on my back?
Skin? Bones?
A bluey sticker.
Tell me you have a 4-year-old without telling me you have a 4-year-old.
For real. Actually, it's what's the sister's name?
Bingo.
Bingo. It's a bingo sticker.
Yeah, our kid definitely would just place random stickers on us at that age too.
Or on her entire bed.
Yeah, a lot of random stickers everywhere.
This is my favorite. So she knew when she was little, she got in trouble a lot for like getting out of bed 115 times. So if she wanted us, we got to the point where
she was the worst at getting out of the bed.
The worst. So she got to a point where she would stay in her room, but if she wanted something, she would knock on the door from the inside. Do you remember that? So she did that. She was knocking on the door. So I come in there and she was so excited. She's like, look what I did. And she had put stickers all over the wood bed frame. They were everywhere. And I'm like, wow.
I love those.
I'm so like, funny. Where did you get those? I was reading one of my books and there was stickers in the back. And I'm like, motherfucker.
Oh my God.
I'm like, what kind of book publisher hates parents that you're going to put a sheet of stickers in the back?
For
God.
Real. Wow. Well, did I tell you guys that I'm getting my wisdom teeth removed?
Yes.
You did.
I'm having oral surgery and I'm scared shitless. But thankfully they are
Why? You've had oral before.
Scheduled date. I'm trying to think of something witty and I just can't come up with anything. Not my usual take, but this new method where I'm getting put the fuck out.
wasn't as fun.
But anyways, the original date that they gave me was the day before we were going to be flying out to visit you guys.
Hail to the no.
And I was like, that's not going to work. So, although it would have been really fun, to be drugged up on whatever they're going to give me.
That was like when I had my tonsils out, the first date they gave me was exactly 2 weeks before we all went to Seattle together. And I'm like,
yeah, that's right.
So I ended up having it done like 2 days after we got back.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, that's cutting it close. I don't want to risk having my vacation suck.
That's wild. Well, because of my surgery now being planned, now I accidentally have almost 2 weeks off of work in a row, which not complaining.
Nice.
Not complaining at all, especially since I have so much time.
Emmy doesn't know. So here's a shitty teacher thing. We only get 3 personal days a year, and they do not roll over. So we get 10 sick days, and our sick days roll over to the next year, so you can add them up for however long you want. But for a sick day, you have to have like a note, and you only get three personal days a year. Three of them. That's it. They don't roll over. So you can only.
Is it 10 10 days plus the 3 days, or is
10
it
plus the 3.
10 days total?
No, 10 plus the 3. 10
Okay.
sick, 3 personal. The personal doesn't roll over. Well, the personal will roll over into sick days.
Okay, I see.
So, like, if I use none of my, right now I have 10 sick days, 3 personal days. If I use none of them, then at the beginning of next year, I'll start out with 13 sick days plus next year's allotment of days.
Sure.
Okay. So we're not trying to, my mother is plotting. My mother put a down payment on a on a Disney cruise before we got off of our last one. Because you get like,
I think I might have
you get a deal for
been
doing
aware
that.
of you. I think you told me that.
Yes. So she has found a cruise that lines up. So I only have to take 3 days off. So and she's paying for it. For me and her and Ella and Emmy to go on a Disney cruise to the Bahamas in December.
Does she want to take her other daughter with her too?
So sorry, room only sleeps 4.
What about her other actual other daughter?
I was gonna say that's the real problem. Her other daughter and her other actual grandchild that I'm pretty sure she forgets exist.
Yeah, that's fucked up. But if she wants to take me, I will find some other room to sleep in.
Kelsey's like, I will sleep on the balcony.
Mm-hmm.
I'll sleep. I mean, it's a handicap accessible shower, so there's a chair in the shower. You can sleep on that.
Sold.
All right, let's get into it.
Okay. I do remember what we're talking about today.
What are we talking about, Kelsey?
We're talking about dwarf planets.
Ayo.
I am so excited for this topic because I love space, and I know this isn't a dwarf planet, but it's like space related. Did you guys go out and look at Jupiter yesterday?
Nope. I went out and looked.
It was a one in 60 years, one time in 60 years occurrence that Jupiter was, I wish I remembered the math of it, but like usually it's like hundreds of thousands of kilometers or light years or whatever the measurement is away. I'm not a scientist, okay? And it was like 59 of whatever those are away. And so with the naked eye, you could see Jupiter, its coloration, and its moons last night.
Could you see Uranus?
And every day. And if you had like binoculars or a telescope, you would be able to have seen its rings. And that was the first time in 59 years that it has been that close. And we won't see it again for another 59 years. So you guys missed out.
That is pretty cool.
Science.
I'll still be alive.
Extravaganza.
I'll still be alive then.
Are you sure about that?
I'll be 95. Yep.
Okay, you're right. I was doing the math in my head for a second. I was like,
I could still.
Okay, well, hopefully you don't forget when you're 95.
Listen, I've taken up the old lady hobbies very early to prepare for my old lady phase.
Right, so you're gonna die soon.
Okay, no, Jesus Christ. All right, Jake.
But anyways, so that's the space news of the week. But anyways, we're talking about dwarf planets.
Jupiter is not a dwarf planet.
No, very much not.
Surprise. It's definitely not a dwarf planet.
Was that a question on the test?
No.
That wasn't on the test, Kayla. Jake, take it away.
All right. So, I think everybody's pretty familiar with the like change that happened in the mid 2000s of
where I was robbed of my childhood. Yeah, I remember.
In such that Pluto is now classified as a dwarf planet. So,
yeah.
Hey, millennials, you survived 9/11. We're taking away Pluto.
Sure.
Fuck you.
Okay. I mean, I think there's good reason for it. Honestly.
I get it. Isn't the rationale?
Oh my.
Well, we're gonna get into it.
Isn't okay? But I know this.
Okay. Well, okay. So the first question is like, what are the? Like, I think it's better to actually ask like, what is the definition of a full planet? Like, and I mean, there's criteria for being a planet.
Okay.
I'll even give you that there's 3 different things.
Ooh,
specifically.
okay. I'm going to guess because I had 3 things in my head. I don't know which of them are right. I know at least one of them's right. Okay. Has to be a certain size. No? Can you, like, that's not it?
Wow. You suck.
Nope.
Okay. Does it have to be orbiting a star?
That is one of them. It has to orbit a star.
Does it have to have moons or something orbiting it?
Nope.
Fuck. 1 for 3.
Wait, okay, let me guess. Something about gases.
No.
No? Okay.
I mean, I guess a star is composed of gas.
So does it have to be...
Isn't a planet also composed of gas?
What is the core of... I mean, the Earth is mostly not gas.
Yeah, Kelsey. And we're a fucking
You're
planet.
right. Yep.
Okay, so
That wasn't on the test.
is the composition anything to do with its categorizing? Its categorization?
No.
Okay. So it has to be orbiting a star. We have that one.
Yep.
It has to have a certain mass.
Ooh.
Technically, no. That's not a like this.
It doesn't have to be a certain size. I thought that was the reason that Pluto got like 86 is because it wasn't big enough to be considered a planet.
Well,
isn't size and mass two different things?
Yes.
Yep. That's why size and mass.
Oh, so smart.
There's a specific thing about size and mass that is in the definition of a planet, that it's not meaningful to say it needs to be a certain size or a certain mass. Actually.
Is it that it has to have mass?
Well, I mean, that's a given, but
well, fuck.
How much guessing do you want to keep doing?
I'm done guessing.
No, we're good.
Okay, so number one, you did get it. It has to orbit a star.
That was me, for the record.
And then the second one is that it has to be round.
Okay, so that like an asteroid can't be.
Yeah,
okay.
so basically it has to be. So this is where yes, it does. It in some sense it has to be massive enough so that the gravity basically pulls in the material to collapse all the material in on itself to be
condensed,
quote spherical.
Okay.
Yeah, because there's a critical amount of mass that a object has to be where gravity will pull in material and fill in cracks and stuff like that.
Question.
Yeah.
Do all planets have gravity?
Well, they have mass, so yes.
Okay.
I mean, technically,
Okay,
two protons next to each other have gravitational pull between each other.
Do non-planets have gravity?
See the explanations I just gave.
I'm just checking. So,
what
I'm
you have
trying
gravity,
to...
Kayla. God. You have gravity.
I'm a planet, so I'm not worried about it. God.
That's what she said.
Oh my God. Listen. No, I was trying to so part of the definition is not must have gravity is what I'm trying to rationalize myself into. Because it
has to be massive enough that there's so much gravity.
Okay, so is there a minimum amount of gravity needed to be considered a planet?
I mean, that's where density and all this stuff comes into play.
You don't know the answer because you're not a real scientist. Okay.
It's not just the number, is what I'm saying. One number.
Okay.
There is math. But
okay, what are the other criteria?
Subjective. The other thing is you're going to be frustrated more about this one than you are of any of the other ones. And it has to be round, but also have to be big enough so that its gravity clears the neighborhood of any other neighboring objects from it.
I'm going to need you to break that down a little bit more.
It's this one kind of sucks, and I spent a good amount of time to try to find a better explanation to it, but think of this in the sense that the planet has to dominate everything around it in terms of gravity.
I am a planet.
So that's where you said.
So essentially, wait, let me give a layman term.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me if this is accurate. Mm-hmm. So if you have a planet, it needs to be stronger. Its gravitational force needs to be strong enough to push everything else away so that it has one staying point, essentially. I mean, obviously it rotates or it does whatever it does, but it stays in its order of whatever order it's in because of its gravity.
I think you're really close, actually.
Nice job, Kelsey.
Thank you. That's how like people who aren't scientists or doctorates
so
can understand it.
What you said is pretty much half of it. Is like it has enough gravity that things will get like slingshot around and away from it if they come near it. In one sense, or in the other sense, like capture it and destroy something that comes near it too.
Yeah. Okay.
So planets follow the stand your ground law. Check.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Wait. Okay, this is kind of related, but kind of not. I forgot that I saved this because I remembered that we were talking about planets, dwarf planets, whatever. And I was scrolling like TikTok earlier this week, and somebody was like, this like girl who was a lesbian. She was like, I decided for funsies to pretend to be a straight woman just to pick straight guys' brains because it's hilarious. And so she started asking straight guys, what's your most controversial opinion?
Oh, gosh.
And this guy that matched with her responded and said, the earth is stationary, LOL. And she says, stationary where? And he said back, stationary as in it does not move. Like we're not spinning 100 miles an hour like some people think. And at the same time, chasing the sun, come on. And then she said, so the earth is just sitting still in space? And he said, yes.
That's not a controversial opinion. You're just a fucking moron. Like,
those people are just so funny. They're just.
How does the sun rise? They're so egotistical. How does day and night happen? How do seasons happen? Like Jesus Christ.
They're so egotistical that they can't even that themselves are the center of the universe. That they can't even envision the planet not being the center of everything either. Like it's just.
Oh my God.
Crazy.
They think because we're like still right now.
I don't see
like
it. Yeah, I don't feel it moving.
I'm not moving.
Yeah.
That means the earth is just, can you imagine the earth just sitting in one spot?
Jesus
like we would rot.
Christ. No.
So, anyways, back to dwarf planets.
Yeah, so those
back
are
to dwarf planets instead of dwarf brains.
Those are the criteria for full planets. So they have to orbit a star. They have to be mostly round. And they have to, what's normally called, clear their neighborhood.
They have to stand their ground.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yep. So what dwarf planets have is they have the first two.
I was gonna say, do dwarf planets like have to have the first two but not the third one?
Yes, that's right. So dwarf planets don't clear their neighborhood. So generally there's other objects that maybe are similar size or smaller that are still kind of in their orbital neighborhood as it's defined. So.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
The second question is, like, besides the definition that we just talked about, why was Pluto reclassified?
Wait.
Yeah.
Before we answer why Pluto was reclassified, can I ask a different space question?
Yeah.
So if the Earth is, obviously we're a planet and we stand our ground, like we, like no neighboring things come in contact. Why is there ever any like commotion or worry about like an asteroid hitting us if our gravitational like pull and push and pull or whatever will essentially like deflect because we're planets, right? So like things will deflect off of our atmosphere.
Those
those
objects are not orbiting.
Worry.
Those are not orbiting us. Those are orbiting the sun.
Are you talking like we're talking Armageddon, the movie?
Yeah, like something coming in through our atmosphere and just like
demolishing,
beelining it and demolishing a whole entire.
That's what I'm saying is that those are orbiting the sun and they're not orbiting the Earth. That's more coincidence. That their paths
like smacks into us.
Yeah, that's so improbable that just in this gigantic, massive space, that the paths of two minuscule on the scale of things objects completely coinciding is just so astronomical.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The sun has a lot bigger pull on those objects than the Earth actually has. So that's why they they're coming into the solar system because they're being pulled by the sun, and they end up passing by us.
I see. By the time they hit the sun or get close to the sun, they burn up, essentially.
Oh, well, are we talking about ones that don't? Because those are different. Interplanetary asteroids like that don't end up coming into Earth's atmosphere and getting burnt up.
Why?
What you're thinking of is like small space debris and dust. And that's usually like debris from past comets that the Earth is passing through and stuff like that. Okay. And those are little tiny. The ones that you hear about in the news are ones that are like, multiple feet around and bigger.
Okay.
They're actually like relatively small, but they can cause a lot of damage if they did come into our atmosphere.
Right. Okay.
But those never enter our atmosphere. The like stuff that burns up in our atmosphere is predominantly like dust that we're passing through.
Okay. Cool. So back to Pluto.
Yeah. So like besides the definitions, what was the impetus for Pluto being reclassified?
I know this one.
Okay.
Well, I don't know.
You sound really confident.
9 pizzas. Now we just have
I know
9.
this one.
Okay.
Nothings.
Isn't it because if we had called Pluto a planet, there was like other shit that was also going to have to be a planet?
Yeah, I'll give that one to you.
Yes,
that is
okay.
Pretty much. So but the thing is, here's the thing. That was already the case before a certain thing happened in 2005, I think it was. Like, they had already discovered Pluto-sized-ish objects in the solar system, like, back into the 1800s. So there was already debate about kind of this definition, 150 years ago, that they had found objects. Yeah. The thing is that most of those they found past Pluto, further out than Pluto. And so I think like they kind of made the rationale as just like, oh, those are just too far out to consider.
But didn't they find one like closer than Pluto, or more than one potentially?
So now I think there is one that's in between Mars and Jupiter.
Has it got some weird like bullshit number name?
No.
Oh, never mind.
And I think that one was back then. But the big one that caused the issue is one that sorry, before I go into that, you both know that Pluto at certain times orbits closer to the sun than the planet Neptune.
Yeah, because
it has a high eccentricity orbit. So it's less circular than most planets. Like Earth's orbit around the sun is very close to a circle. Pluto's is more oval shaped. And because of that,
interesting.
And because of that, at a certain point in its orbit around the sun, it's actually closer to the sun than Neptune is. Okay. So the real issue was that they found another object that was Pluto-sized, bigger than Pluto, actually. And it also got closer to the sun than Neptune at certain points in its orbit. So that's where and
it's in our universe or whatever.
In our solar system. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like you think of it classically like the sun at the center and then like a bunch of orbits that are circular going out with a bigger radius going out, right?
Yeah.
Well, Pluto actually ends up going back and forth between being further out than the 8th planet and closer than the 8th planet. And we had called that a planet. Well, then now they found another object that's bigger than Pluto that at some point in time ends up being closer to the sun than the 8th planet. So that's where the major push came to like officially make the designation for dwarf planets.
Oh, okay.
We either got to limit
how many dwarf planets are in our solar system?
For for sure one.
The number is around 9 that
Shit.
everybody agrees on.
So what is the actual, how many other, okay, hang on, let me get my words together. If we had included Pluto as a planet, would all 9 of those also have to be considered planets? Or are there some that...
I think that's what people agree on, is that
Okay.
About 9 of the objects. There's lots and lots of objects that are pretty big that people know about. And there's about 9 of them that meet those criteria for planets, except for the clearing the neighborhood one. So that if you got rid of that requirement to be a planet, you'd have to really include the 9 of those. So
interesting. I have a question.
Yep.
Since, Pluto doesn't clear its neighborhood,
mm-hmm.
is there like a potential or like something that could happen where another space object comes like hurling through our solar system and hits into Pluto and sends Pluto just like yeets it across the solar system into another universe?
I love this question. I don't know the answer, but I love the question. Or follow up, part B, could something like just no more Pluto?
I mean, could it? I mean, absolutely it could. That's true of any planet where some object just comes in and smashes into another one. I mean, it's extremely unlikely. But if you're saying, is it physically possible? Then yeah, for sure. Now this is a little off topic, but it is interesting to think about, like the Andromeda galaxy. This is the closest galaxy to the Milky Way galaxy. They're actually like basically on a head-on collision course with each other.
Us and Andromeda?
Yeah, the Milky Way galaxy and the Andromeda galaxy.
Like tomorrow, or in like 300 years, or in like 5 billion years?
Billions of years.
Cool.
Yeah. Like we'll never see. Yeah. Well, the interesting thing is if you look at, like, there's simulations of what that will look like, and it looks really chaotic.
I mean, I bet.
Where like you have, 2 galaxies of billions of stars that are coming into each other, and like it's just like a whole bunch of chaos of these things swirling around. But the thing that's interesting,
and then Pluto gets yeeted across.
Well, that's what I was gonna say, is like, even with all of that chaos at the galactic level, now I think you would see, well, this still happens over a very long period of time, but like you would still basically have no impact on the actual solar system, even though the two galaxies are going through this like radical chaotic change in the galactic formation. Things are just so spread apart, and gravity is such a large force that, like, well, it's a small force, but objects are so massive that there's a lot of gravitational force that happens at a galactic level, but you would basically see no actual influence on your, like, quote, day-to-day life when that happens.
Really?
Like, it's not like when those two galaxies collide that our solar system, like you said, like just like gets destroyed or something like that. Yeah. No.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting.
So
I have another question.
Yeah.
Kelsey's writing the test
about
today.
Space, particularly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Pop quiz. I'm a little bit confused by space in general, because I feel like people say, like, stand on our Earth's ground and look up at the sky and say, oh my God, I can see the Milky Way. Aren't we inside of the Milky Way? Like, aren't we part of the Milky Way?
Ooh, can I try to answer this?
Yeah, go ahead.
Aren't you? Isn't it just like you're like almost like looking out at like the outer edge type situation? Like you're looking at the horizon.
Mm-hmm. You're absolutely correct, Kelsey. We're inside the Milky Way.
So like, okay, here's my demo. Here's my tiny little piece of whatever. If this is the Milky Way and we're like in it, you can like look out and see like the edge almost.
or at the center.
I see. And that's why we get that line across the
correct,
sky.
because you're seeing like the horizon of the Milky Way, like the edge of it, because we're in it, and you're looking at like the outer edge almost from the inside. Yes?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you're looking along the disk of the galaxy.
Right.
Because you can look at the center of the galaxy too.
Right.
So I wouldn't say we're just looking along the edge. But yeah, we're inside the disk. This is a whole other topic that we should do at some point.
Can we do it next time? We love space.
Well, I suppose I can do that for my next
Me and
topic.
Kelsey really like space. Can you just talk to us about space all the time?
I mean, we have and we will talk about space a lot.
Take a trip to Houston and go to NASA.
I really thought you were going to say, I think we should take a trip into space.
Yeah. Do we each have $300,000 to go to space?
I do. You don't?
I don't.
Oh my God. Yes.
I'm not a doctor.
Anyways, maybe not into space, but yes, Houston, NASA. Or closer to us, Huntsville, Alabama.
I was going to say Huntsville is in Texas.
No.
We could stay with Aunt Holly if we went to Texas. I think we should go to Houston and do a reenactment photo of Jake and I in spacesuits in this funny.
Yes.
Do you remember those photos, Jake?
Yeah, they had like the shape space shuttle cockpit replica that you could sit in.
It was like a space shuttle cockpit, and we're like, and then there's like one where our backs are against each other, and we're like this with like.
Okay, but this would be fun as hell to take the kids.
Yeah.
So what are we thinking? Spring break to Houston, like long weekend, spring break, Houston. Listen, let's go to space, guys.
Space.
We can report our podcast live from the moon.
Live from NASA. This is Kelsey reporting live from NASA. We are here in the cockpit of Space Shuttle 773.
This is Kelsey. We're on Apollo 13 to mission to Mars. Oh my
Loved
God.
it. Anyways, back to Jake's topic.
Well, I was going to say, wrap up the galaxy thing about like, there are different shapes of galaxies. And I mean, these are like, there's globular ones that are just like a glob of stars. And then there's a lot of them that are.
Is that a technical term?
Globular?
They're usually called elliptical. I didn't think you were going to understand that
we
word,
that.
Kelsey. So I didn't use the technical one.
I thought you were a fucking idiot.
I understand glob better. You're right.
I did that transformation for you.
He dumbed it down because you're a moron.
Thank you.
But then spiral are the other main type. Because like the stars are like spinning around the center of gravity of the galaxy. So like where the Milky Way galaxy we think is a spiral galaxy by all indications. And so like because things are rotating, they get collapsed down into a disk. It's the same reason that solar systems form into a disk. Like, you know, if you think about it, it's kind of weird that you have like the planets all in the same plane generally.
Yeah.
It's because of that rotation. And so that's what you're seeing when you look into the night sky when it's dark enough and you can see the Milky Way galaxy, quote, like you asked, is because we're inside of the spiral part of a spiral galaxy. So we're looking along the plane of where those stars are in the disk of the galaxy.
Okay.
So
that makes sense. So it's like wider, so you can see.
Well, it's thin because it's a disk.
Oh, right, but it's like kind of.
If we were in like an elliptical galaxy, right? Well, yes, but our planet is tilted, and we're on the side of a tilted.
The galaxy is not cocked. We're cocked.
Oh, so we're not still.
No, we are not just sitting still. Girl.
Got it.
Can you get in touch with that chick who was doing these, like, baiting these people into saying their insane shit and be like, hey, can you recommend our podcast to this human? because they apparently need to hear what we have to say.
Should I? Yes,
Okay.
I will.
Okay, thanks.
I'll reach out. Yep. Got it.
All right, what's next? I'm ready.
So the last question is two-parter. So what's the biggest dwarf planet?
Pluto.
Pluto.
Nope.
Fuck. We both said it with such confidence.
I know.
So by both mass and diameter, Pluto is neither of the greatest of either of those.
Is it the second?
I think it is the second.
Okay. Well, I don't know the names of any of these other dwarf planets. Do they have cool names too?
Yeah, so here's a couple of them. There's Ceres, Haumea, Make, and Eris.
Wait. Make. Do they serve fish there? Sounds like a
Hawaiian
My
god.
assumption is because one of our biggest observatories in the U.S. is in Hawaii, that a lot of these get Hawaiian names.
Also, like
we're going to Hawaii.
We named.
Got it.
Fuck Houston. We're on to Hawaii.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking when you guys were like, let's go to Houston. I was like,
You're like, or Hawaii?
Yeah.
No, so are they like, okay, actual question, follow up. So a lot of our other planets are named after like Greek and Roman gods. Yes?
mm-hmm.
Are these like Hawaiian mythological figures, gods?
I don't know.
Demigods?
I don't know.
Moana?
I think that's a good guess.
That was a
But
legitimate question.
Ceres and Eris are both
Moana,
Greek.
Both
make
Greek.
way.
Yeah.
Make way. So, Maui, Motunui, Te Fiti.
Mahi. Or
Make.
Make.
Mahi Mahi's a fish.
Another one called Sedna. I think that's one that they don't know how big it is
Then how? Oh,
because they don't think it has any moons.
okay. Anyways, which one's the biggest? Which one's
So Eris is the most massive one that they know
massive
about.
as in most mass?
Has the most mass.
Which one is the biggest in size?
No,
Kilauea.
I think is that one. Oh, Eris and Pluto are very close in terms of diameter.
Okay.
Like,
Mm.
Eris is 67% the diameter of the moon.
Okay.
So these are actually smaller than the moon.
Then our moon.
Our moon.
Our moon.
Oh, wow. Wait, Pluto is smaller than
Correct.
our moon?
Jesus.
Wow. That puts it into perspective.
So Eris is 67% the diameter of the moon,
Okay.
and Pluto is 68% of the diameter of the moon.
Okay, so it has the biggest diameter as a dwarf planet.
Yeah.
You
But
lied to me.
Eris is the most massive, and it's something like 22% of the mass of the moon, where Pluto is only like 16%. So there's actually a big difference.
Oh, Pluto's so
It's a
dainty.
little
Yeah,
baby.
so Pluto's a lot less dense than Eris. And Eris is the one that was discovered that caused this whole
Debacle.
debacle. The one that ends up being closer than Neptune at certain points.
Okay, what's the part B of this question?
What's the closest dwarf planet?
Didn't you say there was one like closer between like Mars and Jupiter or Saturn? Okay, that
Yep.
one.
Yeah, that's the closest one. So that one's named Ceres.
Okay. See, I was listening.
I have heard of Ceres. I have heard of that.
Can we see it at all in the sky?
Do boys?
With the naked eye, I don't think so.
Okay.
And I
Oh.
think
Do boys still go to Jupiter to get more stupider or what?
we're Jupiter's a planet. We're not talking about that.
I mean, because
Oh,
I
yeah.
can
Okay.
confirm that girls are still going to Mars to get more candy bars.
Mm.
That's where I go every month. I'm like, I go to Mars.
Mars o'clock.
Gotta get some more candy bars.
I'm fresh out of my fucking candy bars. Gotta head on over. Jesus Christ. Do boys still go to Jupiter?
So yeah, those are my questions. Any other questions? It seems like your brain is functioning tonight, Kelsey. Do you have any other questions?
Wow.
Kelsey, you're actually kind of smart tonight. Normally you're a fucking moron. Do you have anything else smart to say while you're still being smart?
Well, currently, while I'm still being smart, and nothing else. I've already used it all.
But yeah, that is an interesting point that you're like, just to note that
boys go to Jupiter to get more stupider.
Is that all these are like significantly smaller than our moon.
Yeah, I guess I would not have known that Pluto is even. I don't think like the common person knows that Pluto is smaller than our
you
moon.
just assume it's a planet. It's got to be big.
It's gotta be bigger.
So yeah, like Pluto and Eris are the two biggest ones. Like the next biggest ones are like not even close to that. Most of these are very, very tiny, even in terms of our points of reference that we have here on Earth. But yeah, I mean, just the whole thought about scale in our solar system and the universe as a whole is really interesting, because I think we talked about this with extrasolar planets, how they measured that in terms of masses of Jupiter.
Yes.
Remember?
Oh, I remember this. Yes.
And those were on the order of like 30 times the mass of Jupiter.
Right.
So you've got these planets that are 30 times as big as Jupiter. And then here we know that there's these dwarf planets that are, half the size of the moon here.
Right. Well, that's like, have you seen the visual where it's like how many moons can fit inside the Earth? And so they have like a clear ball representing the size of Earth and little balls representing the size of the moon.
Mm-hmm.
But then they do it on a different scale where they've got a ball representing the size of the sun and little blue balls that represent the size of the the size of the Earth. But they're blue to represent the size of the Earth, and like how many of them fit inside the sun is like mind-boggling.
Yeah. Way, way, way more than the moon inside the
Correct.
the
And
Earth.
also, like, I don't know. And I get that we are not, like, this is not an Earth-centric universe. I understand. But it's just, like, it doesn't feel from where we are that the sun could possibly be that big.
Yeah.
Like, it's again, perspective. It's a perspective thing.
Yeah, it is.
All right. Well, any final thoughts on dwarf planet stuff?
No, I feel like my brain was operating on full tilt, like, this whole time, which is not usually what happens.
No, I think that was great. I love space. So is this a space podcast now?
We're just talking about
I can't
space.
do that. I can't commit to that.
Oh, Jake doesn't like space as much as
Remember, my specialty is like literally the opposite, the smallest
the
things.
tiniest bits. Was
But-
dwarf planets like your compromise? Like, y'all want to talk about this big ass space. I want to talk about these tiny pieces. Middle of the road, dwarf
Yeah.
planet.
Well, we did talk about extrasolar planets before.
Yeah, I know.
But
that was fun. All right. Good work, friends.
Good work. Good work.
All right. What's my topic for next time?
Okay.
Let's do that.
Yes. Let's give Kayla her topic for next week. Jake, do you have a topic for Kayla?
Yeah, so despite what you may think, I am listening like a lot about everything, and you already actually talked a little bit about what I had already chosen as the topic for next time.
Which was what?
Teachers spending their own money
Oh,
Squirrel.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
in their classroom.
Yep.
I had already
That's a
chosen
good
that.
one.
You can look at my notes before you had talked about it at the top of this episode.
So sidebar, since we did talk about this earlier in this episode. So I sent out an email to like all my parents were like, hey, my kids are really, all of your students are really enjoying my cute little cafe, but I'm running through hot chocolate K-cups real quick. and
Yeah.
I have a distribution list set up with like all of my parent emails in like one click to make my life easier. And so I had, one parent send me money. I had one parent say they're going to bring stuff. And Emmy was like, so did you send that to Dad? Because he is a parent on my distribution list. And I'm like, I mean, technically, yeah, but I think he's probably off the hook in terms of donating to my classroom. Jake's like, I've done my donations.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. 100%. Already donated this school year.
Correct.
Yeah. Great. Well, that'll be a fun topic. I feel like I want to ask my kids' teachers, like, what's your opinion? Do you guys spend a bunch of money ahead of next week's episode?
I think you should. Do a little poll.
I should. Actually, I'm going to ask some of my instructors at the college that I work at as well and see how it transcends into like collegiate life.
Kelsey, are you volunteering to just be our boots on the ground going forward? And for our topics, we can have you go do some polling of your kids' teachers
Sure.
and see how that compares.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care. Get me a tiny microphone and I'll go ask anybody anything.
My principal has a tiny microphone. We do finish the lyrics Friday.
It's very fun. It's very fun. Cool. Well, great. Well, we learned a lot about dwarf planets. Mostly that the moon is larger than Pluto, and nobody knows that. So, hear ye, hear ye. The moon is larger than Pluto.
If there's anything else you take away from this.
You don't need to know anything else.
That's right. So, great. Well, next week, tune in, like, subscribe, follow us on social media. Send us a 5-star review. We only accept 5 stars currently because we need any. So 5 would be great. And yeah, follow us on social medias. We're at This Wasn't on the Test on Instagram and TikTok. And anything else, guys?
No, I think that's
Nope.
it.
Great.
Well,
tune in next week to find out why this wasn't on the test.
bye.
Bye.
Bye.